With the iGrow 1600 controller, you have the option to install additional outputs if needed with the iMod expansion board. With the iMod, you get two normal relay outputs and two 0 to 10 volt outputs, which are typically used for variable frequency drives. Now this video will demonstrate how to install and program the iMod expansion board for additional outputs control. Now the first thing you want to do is power down the controller, and you want to open the face of the 1600. And as you can see, we have a pre-mounted expansion board right here. We recommend mounting the expansion board, the iMod, to this pre-designed location on the back bracket at these 4 points with the hardware included. Now with the iMod package, you get two cables, a 2-conductor cable 19-inch for power and a 3-conductor cable 17-inch for communications. Now with the small screwdriver, the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the negative black wire and the positive red wire from the GND and 12 volt from its terminal block. Second, pull out the 17-inch 2-strand communication cable, and on the controller's PCB RS232-3 terminal block, you want to land the red wire on the receiver terminal block, the RX, land the white wire on the transmitter terminal block, the TX, and land the black wire on the ground. Now, thirdly, you want to land the other end of the cable to the J1 portion of the expansion board. Note, the expansion board terminal blocks are simply a push, insert, and release process to install your wiring. You want to land the white wire on the receiver terminal block RX number 18, land the red wire on the transmitter block, the TX number 17, and land the black wire to the ground, GND. Fourth, pull out the 19-inch 2-strand power cable. You want to match the red wire from the previously disconnected power cord to the red wire of the 19-inch power cable. And you want to insert both wires to the positive 12 terminal block. After that, you want to take the black wire from the previously disconnected power cord and match it to the black wire of the 19-inch power cable and land both those wires into the GND ground terminal block. Now land the other end of this cable to the J1 portion of the expansion board. Land the red wire on the 12 volt number 2, and then you want to land the black wire on the GND number 1. Now after the power and communication wiring is complete, it's time to wire devices to the expansion board. With the expansion board, you get two normal relay outputs. For the first relay output, which would be output number 13 on the 1600, you need to land the relay cable into COM1 number 4. Then land the 24 volt VAC cable into NC1 number 5. For the second relay output, which will be number 14 output on the 1600, land the relay cable into COM2 number 7 and land 24 volt VAC cable on the NC2 number 8. Now for your voltage controlled 0 to 10 volt device outputs, using a 2-conductor cable, you would land the red wire on the VOUT1 number 16, which would go to the low voltage control input of the voltage controlled device. After that, land the black cable wire on the GND number 17, which would go to the low voltage signal ground of the low voltage controlled device. You would do the same process for your second voltage controlled device. You would land the red wire on the VOUT2, which is number 20, and you would land the GND to number 21 and run those same two wires in similar fashion to your voltage controlled device's inputs. Now that we have wired the expansion board to the controller, let's go ahead and program this controller to control your expansion outputs. Power up the controller. And with the controller power, we want to go ahead and go to the following locations in your programming. On the home screen, hit Enter Menu. Then you want to scroll down and go to expansion settings. Now, right now, the expansion settings are disabled, and you want to go ahead and enable the expansion settings. You want to make sure that number 15 and number 16 output are voltage, because you have a choice of either voltage or current, but the output does in fact need to be voltage so that you can adjust the voltage in your mixed valve programming parameters. Hit back to save. Now to program your outputs, just simply hit enter menu, and previous to get to equipment programming, which is program equipment, and right now we're in output number 1, but if you hit minus, you can now see output 16, 15, and 14, and 13, which are your expansion outputs. And all you got to do now is program your expansion outputs accordingly. And that's our video in wiring and programming the expansion board to the iGrow 1600 controller.